Hi Soompi and Viki fans, this is Vince. I'm a singer-songwriter and a producer with the Black Label, and I'm here to talk a little bit about myself and my album, The Drive. So, The Drive. These are 7 songs that are very close to my heart, and I like to say these sound pretty good in your car when you drive. That's why I named the album The Drive. Hope y'all check it out. So most recently, I've worked on SOMI's Fast Forward. What else? Jisoo's 꽃, Big Bang's Still Life. That's the English title. And a whole lot of TAEYANG song, which is like 5. What else? Seed, and all that good stuff. These 2 people come to mind. They're both phenomenal singers, so usually I don't even have to tell them what's wrong. They would just usually fix themselves and just try to make it perfect as possible. Yeah, and it's always easy. It has to be this guy again. So even when he's busy, he always makes sure he comes to the studio, and I'm usually in the studio and he always comes through even when he doesn't have to work on music, so it's definitely TAEYANG. And we work out in the same gym, so it's I would have to say it's SOMI, because I don't know, when she came to the company, she was like 18, 17 or younger, and she's always been like a little sister to me, and I feel like it'll feel like a nice little family trip if I take a trip with her. And I also traveled with his father to skydive and everything, so. I went to college and then I found out there's a major that's called music business. I'm like, oh, that might be interesting. And then I graduated from it thinking that I'll be more in the business side of music, because I don't know how to become a producer or a singer-songwriter like I am right now. And in the midst of that, I met a bunch of friends who like to make music, and one of them was luckily 24, who I still work with, and we just started making music for fun and just started putting it out independently. And somehow, some of the guys at the company noticed it and called us up, and ever since then I've been with the Black Label. My inspiration comes from pretty much everyday life. It could be like a conversation that I have with my friend. It could be a problem that my friends are going through, and I'll just take that idea and just, it's almost like a movie script sometimes. I just try to tell a story out of everything that I hear and see. I can't say it's the most meaningful, but most memorable is that first line from Vibe with TAEYANG. This is gonna be the one and only theme song. Yeah, just because it's fun, and I mean, as a writer, it's just you try to come up with the fun lines. It's nothing crazy. One fun fact, there used to be a cuss word in it, but we changed it to one and only. I would say Pharrell, because he's a producer himself, he's an artist himself, also a fashion icon, and it's just, I looked up to him since I was young. I would say it's always on the whim, but here's the catch, I'm always in the studio, so it's never the whim. It's never on the whim, it's like I'm here to work. A lot of times I end up not writing any songs, but sometimes when I get inspired, I make sure I capture it. So that's why I'm here all the time, and make sure all these songs get made. It's different every time, but I mean, if I don't have a specific request, it usually would be just what interests me at the moment, and try to make it as good and cool as possible. And yeah, I just like to play with different genres and sounds. So it's never for myself, it's never for any specific artist. It's just for fun. It is different every time, but usually I would just start out with a melody. But sometimes it would be like a key phrase that I like to use. But still, I would say 90% of the time it's the melody and how it makes me feel that inspires me to write the lyrics to it. I think I would say it's fast forward, how it came about. Because I already had the hook's bass line, like boom, 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 boom. I had that line. I knew who was gonna make it good, so I just like gave that idea to RT, and then after that, TAEYANG heard the beat. He liked it so much, we wrote that whole melody and the fast forward part that night. So that all happened in the span of like a day. I would say just believe in yourself. If you know you got it, then keep at it. People might say you don't have it, but if you know you do, then keep at it. The title track. So, You. That song might be actually the shortest time that it took to finish, because that song, so it was like 3-4 a.m. in the studio, me, 24, and TAEYANG. And TAEYANG was like, why don't we write a song? And he laid down, boom, boom, the bass line. In 15 minutes, the whole melody and You was written. I went into the booth and came up with the whole 9. And that all only took like 15 minutes. And when it happens, you know it's magical. So we just stuck to it and made sure it comes out nicely, and we made it the title track. I was working on other projects, come back to it, and heard something was missing, and I make it, and work on something else, come back to it, and the whole process took a little long, but I just wanted to make sure I have the best songs put together for this album. I would say About You, that's the second song off the album, just because that's the last song that I added to the album, and it's the most recent for me. Yeah, so it's still a little fresh to me. Lately, I haven't watched too many dramas, but I actually covered the song today because Reply 1988, I actually watched that show like pretty religiously, every episode, yeah. And that has to be one of my favorite K-dramas of all time. I would say romance, just because I like lighthearted, comedic, romantic comedy type of K-dramas. So Soompi, this has been fun. I'm Vince. I have my new album out, which is called The Drive. 7 songs, a lot of fun. I got 2 videos out, Get Out and You. Make sure you check them out, and I'll see you later. Get out.